Hi there. So I would like to give you a quick overview of this ICP Blockchain Poker project I've been working on. So the idea here is that I would like to provide a platform for playing Texas Hold'em no limit poker on the decentralized platform. So the platform is ICP, the Internet Computer, for several reasons. First of all, is it has a hosting for both the backend and the front end. So the backend is gonna hold the implementation of the poker rules, as well as accounts and tables and stuff like that, tournaments, etc. And also the Internet Computer can host the front end code, so it can act as a web server. This provides you with a solution where you don't have to rely on external hosting for the front end. So, for example, if you are using Ethereum smart contracts, you will still need to have AWS or Azure to have the front end web service web server. So this covers these 2 points here. So I'm just going to go through these points rather quickly, and then maybe the architecture of this project, and then do demo. If you're familiar with ICP and the project itself, feel free to jump to the demo. I'm going to add chapters so that the navigation is easier. So this covers the 2 points here. One thing is interesting is I think it's interesting is the fact that the system is decentralized, and the smart contract would hold some balance for the tables, but users don't have to deposit more than that. So you can come and to a table, deposit just before you sit down and you do the buy-in, and then take out everything after the game. In any case, the account that is holding the players' funds are smart contract accounts, so there's no staff. Even at the end, when this project is in production, nobody would have the keys to retrieve the tokens that are held by the poker site. This part is about the fact that the code will be publicly released, and you will have access to source code, and therefore you can see that there's no backdoor, there's no access to there's no privileged access by staff. There's no staff actually, and that's also the code that is deployed on the blockchain matches the code, the source code that is published, and also that there is no authority, a principal that is allowed to change the smart contract. So once it's deployed, it would be immutable. So these properties are pretty much the same as if you talk about DeFi project, these liquidity pools or decentralized exchanges. In order to be safe and hold users' fund, there must not be a way for an external entity to pull from the smart contract without a due process. And the secure ING is specific to poker. So you see in the code that the hands are generated by a crypto secure RNG, CHA-20, which itself is seeded through ICP. So the ultimate source of randomness comes from the hosting infrastructure, ICP hosting infrastructure, and the writer of the smart contract has no control over that. So I personally don't know how this entropy is generated. Even if I knew the algorithm, I don't know the value. This entropy is what is used for other situations where a pure randomness or semi-pure randomness is required. A crypto-safe randomness is required. This part here is the fact that I don't hold the site doesn't hold any login information. So all identification comes through internet identity, which shields your identity, your ICP identity from the website itself. So even if you create an anchor, you create a login, and you use the same login on different websites, each website would have a different identity. It will receive a different ID from you. And we don't hold any cookies. So one of the drawbacks is that whenever you have to reload the page, you would have to re-authenticate. So how this whole thing works? It's pretty, so it is on ICP. So ICP is this project, run by Definity. Without going into too much details, what they do is they have a bunch of nodes running in data centers that run smart contracts, and the speed is about a few seconds per finality. So whenever there's an action on in a poker game, whether you draw a card, you fold, bet, or anything, this will be sent to the blockchain and replicated to several nodes. So that's why you notice that the every action will take a few seconds. So this is not as fast as a regular centralized poker. But this gives you the safety of having not one machine in charge of the logic, but having several machines that we actually, I personally don't know where they're going to be hosted, so they can be in different subnets, taking care of the game logic and the account logic. Again, we have some backend written in Rust. That's what is going to run in the mostly on the blockchain as a canister. The backend canister will be written in Rust. Is written in Rust, sorry. And the front-end code is it's a React app. So that is also then compiled into JavaScript and deployed into another canister, so another smart contract. Well, not really smart contract, but in another canister in the Definity computer. Other than that, so recently they have passed a motion to let smart contracts accept ICP, and well, accept ICP was always the case. Every smart contract has an address, so you could always send ICP to a smart contract. The difference is now ICP smart contracts can also transfer funds out. So with this functionality in place, the poker site, this poker app, is able to withdraw. You can withdraw from your accounts. So that's fairly recent. Again, this is all still in development, heavy development, and we're actually looking for ways to provide a solution that is interesting to players, and not something that will replace PokerStars or any of these websites in any fashion. I think that there is some limitation inherent to the platform, to the blockchain platform. For example, the fact that it's 2 or 3 a few seconds required for finality will deter a lot of players. But if you are a player who, personally, I'm a player who were using websites before, and I was beaten when the website I used went under and took my funds with it. So a few years later, and now, well, maybe it's nearly 10 years later, now I think we have the infrastructure with ICP and maybe other blockchain projects, to build something that is fast enough to support the game of poker. All right. So that being said, let's go to the demo. All right. So you enter the site. So you click on site, and we'll ask you for your internet identity. So at that point, This is the classic identification. So I click on authenticate, I press the button on my smart key, and I'm logged in. The smart contract is on mainnet, but if you want to try, I recommend that you try with very low amount. There will be the most likely still bugs out there, and I'm also changing the code quite often. So I myself only put, I think my balance here is 200 tokens, and the rate, the 200 chips, and the rate is one chip is 10,000 token. Sorry, one token, one ICP is 10,000 chips, and there's no limit for. So therefore, the cost that you only occur is when you do a transaction is the network cost. We don't take a fee, of course. So you would pay one chip basically on the way in, because the network fee is 0.1 milli ICP, and one chip on the way out. So if you want to make a deposit, the system generates an address for you. This is your unique address. You deposit any amount here, more than one chip. So the minimum is 0.1 milli ICP. That's like 4 cents or 3 cents now. And then you click on check deposit. Then the system will check if there's some more value on that address, and then would credit your balance. We update your balance accordingly. So I didn't do it. So you can see it takes a while. I didn't do anything, so this balance will not change. All right. Below you have the name of the table you're at. If you're not at any table, you're gonna have these two options: to create a tournament or join a tournament, or to create or join a cash game. So I'm just gonna talk about cash games. Tournaments would be for another for later, another video. So if you do a cash, there's no lobby, so you need to know it's mostly for friendly private games. So if you want to create a table, you just have to put the name of the table, my own table, right? Then you decide the buy-in, and there's more a big blind. Then you click on create, which then also takes a few seconds. So this is the longest operation. Creating a table is where we gather entropy from ICP. We request entropy from ICP to generate the seed for the PRNG. Okay, so the table is created, and now I move to the table. So then you can see it somewhere, and then I actually need to log in somebody else, right? So I'm gonna do the same thing from the phone. On the phone, you don't need on the phone you don't need the security token, because the phone itself has an enclave, a security enclave. Okay, so I'm in the website, and I go to tables, my own table, and then click on join. So when you join, will be at the same table. After you sit, you will appear on the table with the other players, and then you can start the game. After that, it's a fairly classic game of poker. So you have, for example, here I have 7 and a jack. Can call, and okay, so that you see the speed. Check. Okay, so this is my turn, and I'm gonna take an action, and you can see how long it takes for that action to register. So this is going to be the time between I click and the bar disappears. So it will show waiting buttons while the message is on the way. So raise 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so between 2 and 3 seconds for each action. Okay, I fold over there, and now the hand would be mine. The pot would be mine. Alright, so folded. This is the P&L. So I folded, so I lost the blinds, the 2, and this guy earned 2. And then you click on the next hand. The UI for the game is fairly standard, not super flashy, but I think it's just what you need, but it's barely the bare requirement for a game. Okay, at the end you can, if you are folded, you can stand up and leave the table. So if once you leave the table, then this menu is back, and then you can go to another table. So you can only play one table. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, after that, if you want to withdraw, you click on withdraw, and then you put the address and the amount of chips you want to cash out, and then click on withdraw. That's it. All right. I hope it gave you a good overview of what this is about. Again, it's not meant to, at this stage, to replace PokerStar, but this is a decentralized solution for poker. Okay, thanks.